Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Now, this is going to be something a bit more on the serious side. Now, I'm certain that we all know about the ongoing coronavirus and the problems that it has caused. People are anxious and afraid. But what I'm going to talk about are a bit of the positives that I see from this virus. And I just want to say this, I'm probably not going to be editing this video because it's a bit on the serious side, and I just want to get my feelings out there about this ongoing situation. Now, a lot of people wonder how someone such as myself, can just not be worried about this. Like, people are dying and economies are going under, and stuff that happens from things shutting down are continuing to affect people, businesses and whatnot. But I feel like most of us forget this really one very important thing about this whole situation, about this virus and hard times in general. And I'm probably gonna drop a bomb when I say this to remind people. And that bomb that I'm about to drop is the fact that we as people, we as human beings, we're not excluded from hardships. And frankly, in a way, it feels like this virus has done something very needed, and that's wake a lot of people up to the realities of life. I know so many people, especially people that I knew in high school, that just treated everything like it was one big party. And, that was all there was to life, you just go around, hang out, get high, and hook up, and that's all that there is, right? But this virus has put quite a bit of a blunder in that, this mentality that I just, spoke on, has really summed up a lot of, the younger generation, and even, some of the elders, because we've got a lot of elders that still pretend like they're 20 or something, and they just want to have fun and whatnot. Now, this kind of mentality is more in the modernized countries like U.S. and places where they actually have a decent amount of accessible technology and whatnot. So this kind of mentality is usually a more modernized thing, right? But it's just that mentality has spread around so much. It's made people really forget about the serious parts of life, we've just essentially said, all right, let's always have fun, and people have had this mentality of let's just procrastinate, let's just keep pushing something important further and further into the future so that we can focus on the fun things. And for a while, like we see right now, it's been working for them, and they've just been having their fun, and they've just been playing around. But, despite what they believe, you're not invincible, and, doing really crazy things like drugs and hooking up with people that you've never met, until, 45 minutes ago. These people think that they can just do this kind of stuff and nothing happens. But with this virus, what it's really done is quite a few things. For starters, it's shown that simply because your government says that they have a situation under control doesn't exactly mean that they do. The U.S. made it seem as if the virus came over here, there would just be nothing to worry about, and we just have it under control. And we see that the U.S. basically has around, I believe 6 to 7 times the average highest amount in other countries, which is over 100,000, and we have 600,000, 700,000, I believe. It might be even more by the time this video goes up, but that's just what I see right now. Another thing is the simple fact that, while you may get away with pushing things back for a time, you will never solve the issue that way. You can't just keep pushing an issue back. You just can't keep pushing, climate change back. You can't just keep pushing, failed economics back. You can't just keep pushing this back. The only way that you will ever solve a problem is to address that problem. You have to admit that there is a problem so that you can find a way to address it. No matter how much pride you need to swallow, you have to admit that, hey, I need to do something about this situation. I can't just keep ignoring it. A third positive that's come out of this as well is that people are really beginning to understand their mortality. Now, I know I know that in modernized countries, we have access to a lot of better ways to help, with health, with modern medicine, chemo, all the kinds of benefits that we have here. But you see, plagues, parasites, trials, tribulations, like these things don't stop. They don't ever stop. They don't ever fully go away. They're always here in some way or another. Heck, like people are talking about like this whole vaccine thing about this coronavirus, but I mean, if it's so new and whatnot, then it wouldn't really be a wise decision to just poof, oh, I've got a vaccine and this virus is new, so we don't really understand the different kinds of strains that there are and whatnot. So, like vaccines and stuff like don't just give you an boom instant fix and everything's fine now. These things are around, and like it doesn't mean that if you took a vaccine or something like you'll never get sick again. And this is something that people have to go through a lot. Like so many people have to go through a lot. Like imagine going through this coronavirus without like these like masks and whatnot. Imagine these people like in Honduras that like don't have any shoes on their feet and whatnot. Like if you think it's bad here, if you think it's rough here, where we have access to at least like like some proper basic needs and whatnot, what about the countries where people don't even have basic needs? Can you imagine like how hard they must have? Even though they don't have like the highest numbers of like contaminants and whatnot, they don't have the proper ways to like keep themselves protected, and yet we do. You know, for me personally, it's just made me a lot more appreciative of what we have here, and this whole situation has given me some time to reflect on like what am I really doing, not necessarily with my life, but like when I could be like spending time with someone, when I could be like, letting someone know that I care about them and whatnot. Am I really doing that, or am I like just pushing that to the side, like, oh, I'll do it later and whatnot? I feel like this has made me more appreciative of what we have, in this country with technology and whatnot. And it's also really made me reflect on myself. And I also feel like it's similar to a lot of people. It's made a lot of people, stop and wonder what they're doing with their lives. Have they been really taking it serious, or doing what I said previously above and just treating everything like it's one big party? I'd implore us like to all just use this time to like reflect on yourself, and let people really know what they mean to you. Like let family knows like what they mean to you and whatnot. Because at the end of the day, in a very unfortunate way, it seems like this virus was almost necessary for some of these people to really wake up. Like as the old saying goes, some people just have to learn the hard way. And that's just another harsh truth of life. So with that being said, this has been my thoughts and insights on the coronavirus. I hope that I have in some way, shape, or form helped comfort you in this time. I know that I'm kind of basically just trying to speak a bit of realism and harsh realities here, but I hope that you kind of get what I'm trying to say. And like what I'm just trying to say is like we're not excluded from suffering and whatnot, and we should be using this time to reflect on ourselves and letting people know, because we don't know when it's time for us to head on home. So we should just spend time like letting people know that we care about each other and whatnot. So if you've made it this far into the video and you would like to support me, the best way to do so would be to subscribe, as that will help you stay up to date with my videos. And as always, rate the video what you think it deserves. Tell me what you would like to see in the future in the comments below. Feel free to check out my amino, it will be linked in the comments, as well as my BitChute, where I have a podcast linked in the About Me page of my channel. And I will see all of you in the next video. Take care, and wake up.